Sellout crowd of 12,888 here in Portland Memorial Coliseum. The fans have really been enjoying watching these exhibitions of talent from Team USA tonight. Their opponents, Argentina. And now the game preview. Let's have a look at the rules that will be changed here. First of all, on the NBA on the left column there, games are 48. Here the length is 2 20-minute halves for 40. Zone defense is legal here. Any defense is legal in the international rules. Shot clock is at 30 seconds. Three-point distance, which has been a godsend to the U.S. team, 20 feet 6 inches as opposed to nearly 24 feet. The foul limit, 5 in this. And there are some other international rules, such as the length and width of the court and the trapezoidal lane and some other things that we'll talk about as they develop in the ball game. But those are the basic rules difference in international competition. We'll be right back to Portland Memorial Coliseum right after this.
The 1992 Basketball Tournament of the Americas is brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of USA Basketball. By Phillips Lighting, opening the world's eyes to life. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by McDonald's, helping Olympic dreams come true.
Long before Scottie Pippen was chosen for the USA basketball team.
Hey, Pippen, Martin.
Look, that's Big Harold.
Want to play?
Yeah.
He had to prove himself here. He knew he could count on his friend, Ronnie Martin.
Now, Scotty.
AT&T salutes all of our Olympic hopefuls and everyone who helped them get this far.
Hey, Scotty, those guys at the Olympics going to be tough.
Why? Did they sign Big Harold?
It's Barcelona. Clock's ticking down. He brings the ball up. Drexler's open on the lane. Great pass from below. USA needs a basket to win. Magic goes to the hoop. Yeah!
When USA Basketball plays for the dream, they'll wear the uniform champion proudly earned the right to make. It takes a little more to make a champion.
Listen, Coca-Cola is putting together the biggest music event of the summer with the hottest acts in the business. Elton John, Natalie Cole, Eric Clapton.
5 minutes in the store.
In Excess, Randy Travis, and more. And you can win collector's edition CDs and cassettes with these great artists. And it's all free, but there's only one place you can get them. Right here.
This summer, there's music in the real thing. You could win one of 20 million prizes in specially marked packages of Coca-Cola products.
Shaving would be simple, and any razor would do, if your face was square. But your face has curves. Presenting the revolutionary Schick Tracer, the only razor with twin blades that flex. Compared to other razors, Schick Tracer puts more of the blade edge against your skin. So, for real faces, like yours, Schick Tracer, we're changing the face of shaving.
The faces of the game. Today's starting lineups brought to you by Schick.
First of all, for Argentina, they've got two good guards. Milanesio is the point guard, leads Argentina with 23 assists, and Juan Espiel is their two guard, a good shooter. He leads Argentina in scoring at 15.3 a game. The forwards, Hernan Montenegro. They call him the crazy man. You'll see what we mean when he starts playing. And Esteban Perez is the other forward. Montenegro is the power forward. Can move in and play some center. The starting center, Orlando Turn. He's 6'9", 231 pounds. And the coach, Walter Garrón. He coached Athens Sports Club in Argentina for the last 22 years, and this is his first international experience. Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson start at the guards in a lineup that has changed every one of these games, this being the fourth in the tournament. Malone and Mullen will start at the forwards for Team USA, and David Robinson at center tonight. Chuck Daly, 11th U.S. Olympic men's basketball head coach. He, of course, now will be the head man next year for the New Jersey Nets after all the success he enjoyed with the Detroit Pistons. This is part of the fun, the spectacle, and the entertainment of this Tournament of the Americas. Prior to the U.S. beating these teams by 60 points, they pose at mid-court with all the players. The entire Argentinian team stayed on the floor to have an individual taken with Magic Johnson. Stefano Cazzaro of Italy and Roger Caulfield of Canada are the officials tonight. This game is underway, 2 20-minute halves. And a quick turnover. Mullen with the interception.
You know, Bob, I think it's very interesting to watch the look on these teams' faces when the United States teams comes on the floor. It's almost like they're just thrilled to play against this team. It's been really funny to watch.
2-0 USA. Last night, for the first time in the tournament, the U.S. trailed Panama in the not scoring the first basket. First time they trailed in the entire tournament.
But you're going to see the defense by the United States. This is something that the Argentina team will not see ever again. So there'll probably be a lot of turnover. You see two here early, quickly in the ball game.
Magic Johnson draws the foul, committing the infraction. Orlando Torn, the center, his first personal. 5 fouls allowed in international competition as opposed to 6 in the NBA.
But for the people who have not had a chance to see Magic Johnson play yet, he has played very well, played a lot of minutes, has been very sharp. His passing is good. I think he looks just terrific. I know he's having a wonderful time, and you see that effervescent smile back on his face again as he's reunited with the great players of the game. I know something he missed very badly this season, not being able to play. So you can see he's one of the guys having a wonderful time here in Portland.
Two 20-minute halves, USA leading 3-0. Number 9 is Marcelo Milanesio. He is the point guard. This is Turn, the center, with a 15-footer, and it's 3-2. Argentina with a 2-1 record, a close last-second win over Cuba last night. Shot clock's 30 seconds as opposed to 24 in the NBA. That's Montenegro, the man we talked about being slightly crazy, stealing the ball and running over his own player. We'll deal with that a little bit more. He wears number 8. Number 10 is Espiel. He's the 2-guard, good shooter.
Milanesio with the shot there, very quick. He's probably their most charismatic player. He's got a quick release on his jump shot. Loves to penetrate. You've already seen a couple exciting passes that he's made behind his back. So probably the most exciting player that they have on this team.
U.S. got off to a slow start against Panama last night. We're leading only 16-15 with a big run. Magic Johnson doesn't get the fall, but he will go to the line again, and now trails 5-3 here early to Argentina.
You see the zone defense right now played by Argentina. It's a 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone, really, and what they're trying to do is prevent the ball from coming to the middle. The problem you have is with a guy like Chris Mullen on the floor. Michael Jordan shot the 3 so well, so does Magic Johnson, that this 3-point line at 20 feet 6 inches. Last night in the first half, the United States were 9 for 14, so just opens the game completely up, and then you spread it out. Now you get the ball inside, so really they're impossible to defend, even with a zone. What you try to do is just slow the pace of the game by playing zone so you don't get the individual matchups where you can be exploited.
Tied at 5, 18-19 to go, first half. This is Montenegro.
See, they love that 3-point line. You see they have a 2-point shot. They back it up to look to take the 3.
Perez misses from the corner. U.S. looking for the lead. See the packed-in zone. Panama got away with that for a few minutes, as Doug told you, until it was 16-15, and Michael Jordan and Mullen came in and turned it around off the bench.
You see Mullen spotting up Michael Jordan for 3. This is something they did last night. Michael was 4 for 4 in the first half for 3. Chris Mullen was 4 for 5, so they were 9 for 10 between the two of the players. So that's a real weapon. There's an alley-oop, and you cannot dunk that. If it's over the rim, an alley-oop, you must come down with it. That's a different rule than the United States are used to seeing. There's Mullen for 3.
Michael Jordan steals the rebound, hits the lay-in. It's 10-5.
Michael Jordan was amazing last night. He played 36 holes of golf yesterday, got off the course at 5 o'clock, got here and played, did not start, came in, shot 4 for 5 from the 3-point line, or 4 for 4, and was tremendous defensively, changed the whole pace of the game.
And changed the life
of
a couple of players from Panama.
He really tormented those guys last night.
They're in therapy today. 10-5 U.S., 17:05 to go first half. Clyde Drexler not playing tonight because he's draining the fluid from his knee. Traveling called on David Robinson, wave off the basket, and of course John Stockton still with the team but out with the broken fibula. And Larry Bird, you'll see him from time to time on the sideline laying down, resting his back, still has pain in the leg, and he said as long as that pain is there, doctors will not allow him to play in the games. He doesn't know he may be able to play in the final game here, still not sure. Montenegro with the rebound, Magic Johnson with the steal. Isn't it great to see him back on the court again? Like that.
The no-look pass, Magic Johnson It's so big that he just drives the ball right down the throat of the defense. When you finally collapse, the no-look pass, spectacular play, Chris Mullen with the easy hoop.
U.S. trailed 5-3. They've gone on a 9-0 run, leads 12-5 now. Malone with a rebound. Outlet to Mullen. 1-on-3. Mullen is fouled by Espiel.
Can you stay down? They're having trouble seeing around you.
This is Magic Johnson at his best in the open court, and once you allow him to get on the move, it's so difficult to stop. Now you see 3 players drawn in, and Magic Johnson finding the open man, Chris Mullen. You give Chris Mullen those shots, and then he steps out and makes 3-pointers, now gets to the free throw line. That's why this international game is so well suited for Chris Mullen. He brings that tremendous shooting ability. You're going to see later Barkley, the strength that he gives you, Bob. I think those are the 2 guys that really play this international style very well. You know, forget about Michael Jordan. He's going to play any style well, but I think those 2 guys have really played well.
Milanesio to Espiel. This is Montenegro losing the dribble.
He loves to spin in the lane. He's going to have a difficult time getting the shot off against David Robinson, though.
There's a tough inside move for the power forward. Montenegro is 6'9", 225 pounds. As he plays, you'll notice the numbers 22 etched in the back of his haircut, a la Dennis Rodman. Malone missing. And we'll tell you what that 22 means, and no, it's not Clyde Drexler's number. The drive by Esteban Perez, and it is 14-9.
That's a well-executed fast break. The floor was nicely spaced. The guy got the ball in the middle of the floor, delivered for the easy layup. So nice fast break for the Argentinians. Good ball movement by the United States. You see Mullen and Michael Jordan spotting up for 3. There's Mullen right there in the corner.
From Jordan.
See, that's the dribble penetration against the zone. You know, a zone is supposed to prevent that from happening, but with a Michael Jordan getting inside and Magic Johnson getting, they find the open man, and Chris Mullen just steps out there and shoots it so easily. It's 20 feet 6 inches as opposed to 23.9.
Espiel, the 2 guard, he's 6'5". Robinson with the rebound. Stolen by Espiel. Takes it right back up, couldn't get it to fall, missed a good pass opportunity. Magic Johnson the rebound. Malone from Mullen. That's goaltending. They pushed it back out. You can rake it off the rim, but you can't push it back out. 19-9, Team USA by 10.
What the airlines did for travelers up here, Sheridan is doing for travelers down here. Introducing Sheridan Sure Savers, the revolutionary program that makes travel less expensive. 3 simple rates from 5 to 50% off. The airlines got people traveling again. Now Sheridan makes sure they get a great night's sleep.
We spent $1 billion, so you'll feel like $1 million at Sheraton Hotels.
Call us for Sheridan Sure Savers.
They've been called the greatest team in Olympic history. Bird, Jordan, Johnson, Ewing, Barkley, Stockton, Robinson, Pippen, Mullen, and Malone. Olympic basketball may never be the same. But if you think they're tough, wait till you see the guys at the ticket window if you don't have your Visa card. Because once again, the Olympics don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
TNT's favorite movies, Summer Edition. This week, our favorite showman, Penn and Teller, host one of our favorite movies, The Greatest Show on Earth, Thursday at 10 on TNT.
Here's a good overhead view of the zone defense and how the United States breaks it down.
Well, the penetrating dribble of Michael Jordan, you see the zone is trying to be packed in to prevent anything from going inside, but you're going to see Michael is going to make the penetrating dribble. When he does, what it does to the defense, it pulls everybody in here, and Mullen just slides down nicely in the kick out, and you're going to see the open jump shot. You see how the defense now collapses, and now Chris Mullen's got a 20-foot free throw, and, you know, I watched him before the game. You give him those kind of shots, he's going to make 9 out of 10.
He was right on that last night, 4 out of 5, as a matter of fact. It's Argentina ball, Espiel. You see that Argentina 4 of 10 at 40%, USA at 75%, 6 of 8 early in this game. U.S. has started with Mullen and Malone at forwards, Robinson at center, Jordan, and Magic Johnson at the guards.
See, this is where you see the European teams get in trouble in a half-court game like this. The United States defense is so good that it's very difficult. If they don't get easy baskets in transition, space the floor, and get some shots up quickly, once the United States gets their defense set, it's very difficult for them to get a good shot, although that time Montenegro did a nice job drawing the foul from Karl Malone.
Montenegro goes to the line. He's the power forward with the number 22 etched in the back of his head. And the numbers 2-2. In Argentina, numbers often have symbolic meaning one way or another. And I thought it was interesting what his 22 meant.
Yeah, it means crazy. And he plays like that, too.
Yeah, people said, maybe that's Clyde Drexler's number. No, no, he proudly says, they call me crazy.
I'm glad that's not number 20 etched back there. I'd really be worried then.
It was somewhat crazy. Malone, who struggled a little bit, if you can call it struggling, in this Tournament of the Americas, has maybe not adapted to the international game as well as quickly as some of the other players.
Well, I think that, you know, a lot of Karl Malone's quick post-ups have been taken away, and the ability to step out on the floor, he's really not shot the ball that well. Now you see Michael again from the three-point range. And, I mean, you know, this United States team, I think you have to really give the committee a lot of credit. When they put this team together, they have the right blend of speed, quickness, versatility, size, power, three-point shooting. It's all here, Bob. There are no weaknesses.
Nice pass inside to Montenegro, who missed the jam. Wanted the foul, didn't get it. While he argues, Mullen scores. That's 5 assists for Magic Johnson in 6.5 minutes of play.
Well, you can see early what happens is with the United States, they say, David Robinson, get all the rebounds, and we're going to release, and we're going to fast break. And what happens is Argentina just cannot get back and stop them. Magic Johnson has been the trigger man. Mullen has been on the receiving end of a lot of easy scores.
Montenegro handling the ball. He's 6'9", 225 inside the tour in the center. This is Espiel, the 2 guard. He's 6'5". Scoop move off the rim, won't fall. Uh-oh. Jordan was almost tripped up. No foul was called and gets the lay-in. And that's what you worry about in this kind of competition. The entire Bulls franchise can now relax. It looks like he's all right.
Well, a spectacular the play he made to get that steal. He out-fought 3 guys for the ball and then beat them linked to the floor before he was tripped. Montenegro using David Robinson as a saddle to try to climb on the offensive boards. Again, the high screen, the penetrating dribble, it collapses the defense. And look, Michael Jordan wide open for the three-point shot. And then Montenegro gets nice position here against David Robinson, a nice power move, but he hangs onto the rim. And when he does, he pops the ball out and does not get the easy score around the basket.
First 2 subs for Argentina. Number 5, Hector Campagna, perhaps the best-known player in Argentina in guard, and Sebastian Uranga, number 12, in its center. And it probably won't make a lot of difference.
See, what happens now as Argentina starts going to the bench, I mean, this is where the United States, now they'll substitute. Chuck Daly will come in here in about 2 minutes with his second unit for the evening, and you'll see really that team take off.
Like Montenegro's quick feet on the baseline, he spins inside. I'd like to see him in a one-on-one game. Malone again with a foul. Montenegro will go to the line.
This is a story about 2 of the baddest men who ever put on little short pants. One day, they were surrounded by the Russians and the dreaded Italians. They quick put on their magical shoes from Converse and dissed them all big time. Then they snatched up all the gold and brought it home to Grandmama.
Is that true, Grandmama?
It will be, child. It will be.
Bueno, muchachos, calmados, calmados. Antes de ir a entrenar, vamos a ver un video que es clave. Estos muchachos son increíbles. Los americanos lo llaman el Dream Team.
Wake up, world. 10 of the NBA's most versatile players have united on this one-of-a-kind home video, the Dream Team. It's an all-American collection of high-flying NBA highlights and behind-the-scenes video profiles of the team selected to take on the world. The Dream Team is available wherever NBA videos are sold.
Ay, ay, ay.
This summer in Barcelona, 12 of our best men will be bound by a common past, a common goal, and a common thread. Champion is proud to have been chosen to make the uniform for America's team. Because we understand, too, it takes a little more to make a champion.
Friday night, the fireworks begin. Ryan Sandberg ignites Chicago. David Justice explodes Atlanta's offense. That's cracked, sparks fly. Cubs and Braves, 7:35 Eastern, Friday night on TBS.
USA with an 18-point lead, 11:57 to go in the first half. This Tournament of the Americas is the qualifying tournament for the American zone for the Olympics. The reason the U.S. is qualifying is because they are not the gold medal winners. The gold medal team, which is the Soviet Union, of course not playing as the Soviet Union anymore, so no gold medal qualifiers. Spain, China, Angola, Australia already have qualified. Spain because of the host country. There will be 4 from the European Championships going on right now, and 4 teams from this tournament. Brazil and the United States have already qualified, and Charles Barkley, who's the leading U.S. scorer into the game, along with Pat Ewing.
This should be a good matchup. You got Barkley against Montenegro in there now. We have to keep our eye on those two guys. Now, early in this ball game, we talk about the unselfishness of the United States and the way they've played throughout the tournament in a very short period of time. They have 10 field goals tonight, 9 assists on the 10 field goals, 6 by Magic Johnson. So you can see everybody making the extra pass, getting a lot of high percentage shots, led by Magic Johnson.
Mullen to Patrick Ewing. Italy from the baseline.
The first time the United States got together, the developmental team beat them in a 20-minute scrimmage when they did not adjust well to the zone defense. Since that point in time, they've made their adjustments, and they're playing very, very well. They're getting to the open spots. It was a little bit of a transition for them. They don't see the zone in the NBA, but now they're playing against it very well. Good spacing.
Right there. Montenegro, nice drive. Again, he can't finish. Of course, who could finish with Ewing standing there? 4-3. Johnson with the offensive board, stolen away, and down to Montenegro for the jam.
Montenegro never crossed half court. He missed the layup, and he just stayed at the other end to get the easy basket.
Jordan into Barkley. Now of the Phoenix Suns, along with his new teammate Danny Ainge, who signed a free agent contract today.
Well, as I talked to Charles today, he was extremely happy that Danny Ainge is going to be in Phoenix. He has to look at the Phoenix Suns now, maybe being the favorite in the West.
And from the top of the key, that's Sebastian Uranga. He's a 6'7" center. He's actually playing forward right now. Montenegro playing center in the defense. Jordan with the penetration. Mullen missing the 3. Here's Jordan picking up full court.
This is the way he played last night defensively for about 12 minutes. It just absolutely changed the whole game. Drove the point guard last night absolutely crazy.
Eddie Chavez, the Panama point guard.
He was talking to himself.
36-year-old thinking of retiring now.
Well, it's like you said, he had to go to counseling after the game after playing against Michael.
Barkley with the offensive board. 19-point lead for Team USA. 10 minutes to go in the first half.
See, Charles loved this international game. He used that big, strong body around the basket. He runs the floor. Look at Barkley here for a dunk. Well, Magic's going to take it all the way himself this time.
And we'll go to the free throw line. U.S. having its way with Argentina. Argentina with a 2-1 record coming into the tournament, coming into this game. Argentina doesn't have the opportunity to play as much international basketball as they would like, despite the fact that the talent level isn't bad for South American level basketball. It's certainly a cut below Brazil, but because of the remote location, it's tough to play the away games. That's not a joke.
And you know what, they did say, though, that in watching the United States games on television and getting a lot of the games and on tape, that it really has made a big difference, that they've seen the level of play start to improve. And I think that what has happened in some of these other countries, you've had a lot of United States coaches go in and give clinics. And you commented before the game, Bob, on when you watch the mannerisms of the European players now, and the foreign players, they're starting to pick up that same bounce in the way they dribble the basketball and all the little mannerisms of the United States players, something that didn't happen 20 years ago when I played. They were very unorthodox then.
2 substitutions for the U.S. Christian Laettner making his earliest appearance in the tournament. His appearance on the floor has been late in the game previously. And Scottie Pippen in. Michael Jordan stays at the point. He hounds Marcelo Milanesio.
Well, again, the versatility. You lose Stockton, Magic goes out. You can play Michael at the point. You can play Pippen at the point.
Milanesio misses his 3-point attempt. Ewing off to Jordan. Bullet pass inside to Leitner.
What a great experience for Christian Leitner. I would have to think what I would be like right now if I was the only college player on this team and I had a chance to play with the guys that I have worshiped through the years in my career. I can't imagine what you must feel like. I think this is really going to help his play next year. I think he's going to pick the game up quicker when he goes into rookie camp after being against these guys, Bob.
Three-point attempt goes awry. That's off the hand of Esteban de la Fuente. Pippen. Ewing. Rebound Argentina. Number 5 is Hector Campagna.
Quick move.
Milanesio.
Boy, you can see he's got nice quickness, Milanesio, as he takes the ball to the basket. Nice little flip shot. That's a shot I'm sure he's picked up by watching on television. This little NBA move here, the nice quick step around Michael Jordan, the little floating shot over the outstretched arms of Charles Barkley. Does not get the continuation, but that's a big-time play. He's got to feel good about that move.
In for Argentina, Miguel Cortijo. He's a 6'2 guard. He replaces Milanesio at the point.
Had a cute story in the paper today. One of the players from Panama was talking about that he had his mother at the game last night with her camera wanting to take pictures anytime Michael Jordan was near him to take a picture of them playing against each other so you'd have to show when he went back to his country. I think it's very cute.
She had a lot of photo opportunities.
Yes.
That foul, by the way, is on Michael Jordan, not Barkley, as earlier announced on the PA system.
The foul is the first on Scottie Pippen.
This is on Pippen. 4th team foul, by the way. You shoot a 1-and-1 after 8 team fouls in each half.
That's an offensive foul, really. Scottie Pippen. The guy wrapped his arm around him. Campagna wrapped his arm around Pippen.
Argentina's only hope has been to shoot the outside jumpers. They've had uncontested shots, but have been unable to knock them down. They trail 38-15. Leitner from the corner. Going to see a lot of that in the NBA. He's an excellent perimeter shooter. Knocks down the 3.
We'll see with the injuries also, too. Christian Leitner's getting to play quite a few minutes now. These are minutes that he normally would not get. So with Drexler and Stockton and Bird out, he's getting some time.
The foul whistle against the U.S. as Uranga drives. That's on Patrick Ewing.
His first personal foul.
And we have a timeout on the floor. The U.S. leading 41-15. 7:58 to go in the first half in the Tournament of the Americas.
Right now, IBM is going beyond conventional computing by pioneering a way to touch millions of lives.
Rain, blow.
They love the hands-on stuff.
Information becomes something with an imagination.
IBM Multimedia.
You can touch so many emotions with pictures and colors and sounds.
It's really wonderfully exciting.
Boy, oh boy, are you gonna get it? You never believe what you're getting into. You can't escape, so you might as well forget it. Just wait till we get our hands on you. Wait, wait, can't wait, I can't wait. I just can't, I just can't, I just can't, I just can't wait. I can't wait. Just wait till we get our hands on you.
Hey, isn't that Calvin?
I haven't seen him for a while. Wonder where he's heading.
I heard he got a job.
Oh, is that right? Well, it's about time he got himself together.
Now that you mention it, there is something different about him.
Well, just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover now.
Looks like responsibility has been good for him.
Well, I'm just glad somebody believed in him enough to give him a chance.
Wonder where he's working.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you?
Today's Ronald McDonald's Children's Charity Spotlight falls on Patrick Ewing. To recognize Patrick's work with youth in his community, Ronald McDonald's Children's Charities will donate $5,000 to the Boys Club of New York.
U.S. leading 41-15. Christian Leitner, the 3rd player chosen in this year's draft, who's going to the Minnesota Timberwolves, has been averaging about 9 minutes a game.
Well, the versatility of Christian Leitner, he can play inside, as you see here, the post move, the nice pass from Michael Jordan, but he can also step out on the floor and shoot the 3-point shot exceptionally well. So his versatility provides him the opportunity now to play 2 or 3 positions. You see Christian Leitner, a tremendous college career at Duke. His head coach, Mike Krzyzewski, one of the assistants, along with P.J. Carlesimo for Chuck Daly and Lenny Wilkins. So a tremendous coaching staff. You see Coach K there, very proud of Christian Laettner and the accomplishments of Duke while he was there. 4 Final Fours and 2 championships. I don't think you can do much more.
They did count that, even though it bounced up on the top of the rim. Magic Johnson and Uranga shaking hands after the shots.
You can imagine.
That's too much.
You can imagine what these guys from Argentina feel like right now. I mean, they are not even concerned about the score. The fact that they are playing against this caliber of competition is something they'll remember forever. This night will always be etched in their mind, regardless of what the score is.
Big smile knocks them both down and shook Magic's hand in the bargain. I don't think you can carry a ballpoint out there. There might be some autographs. Ewing with a beautiful move, but missed it. He tipped it in himself.
You know, Patrick Ewing had every opportunity with that sore thumb to sit out for 3-4 ball games. He decided he wanted to get out and play. And it's interesting, he and Larry Bird have become the closest of friends on this team. In fact, they're calling them Harry and Larry now, going to Barcelona. That's going to be the new ad campaign with now Dan and Dave out of the picture at Barcelona. So it's now Harry and Larry of the United States team, Harry being Patrick Ewing. So
Laettner misses the 3. Pippen with the rebound and jam.
Pippen.
9 U.S. players have scored now. This is Campagna. Out to Uranga, missing from the top of the key. Remember, he's the center.
Magic and Scotty getting caught up that time on the fast break. There's a spin move by Magic.
U.S. turnover.
Here's Patrick Ewing in the lane. Beautiful move, a little up and under, head fake. Does not get the initial shot, but the quick reaction and the tip in by Patrick Ewing.
Number 15 is Diego Osla. Argentina substituting more than they have in any of the other games here, trying to keep their players as fresh as possible.
I think also
Johnson called for the foul.
I think also too they're trying to give as many guys a chance to play in the game against the United States. They realize that they're not going to win this ball game, so they want to give everybody the opportunity to compete against these great players.
U.S. with a 25-point lead, 6:22 to go in the first half. They've been winning these games by an average of 60. That's right, 60 points. By the way, you may remember the 56 Olympics, the Bill Russell Olympic team in the U.S. That team won Olympic games by an average of 56 points a game. Campagna dishing inside to Osla, who throws it out of bounds.
Again, if there's any major difference in what Argentina has seen, it's the kind of defense the United States plays. They just choke off every passing lane and don't give you any opportunity to get inside. If you do, you've got shot blockers. All the shots are changed. And the United States is doing a very good job not leaving three-point shooters.
Charles Barkley wanting to get in on that act. He misses. This is Cortijo. Finally raked in by Osla.
He did a nice job. Osla did against Cuba. Was very aggressive on the boards, quick around the basket, a quick jumper, good tip. You saw that time with a nice right-hand tip. So very aggressive, active player.
Osla's a 6'9" forward. Ewing missing. Laettner pushed off the box, and Ewing chases it down. Pippen wanted to go behind his back. Count it, and Barkley will go to the line. The foul has been called on Esteban de la Fuente.
See Charles Barkley, quick, strong, powerful around the basket, goes up and under, misses it, comes down, and looked like Christian Laettner was going to get the rebound, and Charles Barkley just walks right in front of him. You see right here the hesitation. He's too far, and here's the loose ball. Laettner backs off, and then Charles with a double pump hangs in the air. You see Charles throwing the ball off the basket. A little upset that he missed the easy first shot, but did not quit on the play, stayed with it, and has the opportunity now to finish off the three-point play.
He's the leading scorer on this U.S. team, not among the top scorers in the tournament, simply because they've distributed the scoring, the assists, the rebounding so evenly among the Dream Team players. You look inside on the back door, is intercepted from Barkley.
Why didn't Osla step out there and take a charge on Charles?
Cortillo with the nice pass inside and the basket from Hector Campagna, who got his own offensive rebound. Campagna is 27 years old. He's a little bit out of shape. He had to miss some of the practice because of an illness in his family, but he is the most famous player in Argentina. I'm talking about number 5, the man who just scored the basket for Argentina. What's the ad say? They've never seen a bull like this in Barcelona.
Well, I wouldn't get out there and get in front of Charles. I know that.
That was the ads for Scottie Pippen, but it works for Charles.
Oh, yes. Well, here he goes again. Oh, Slugsy's going to take the Matador defense.
Staying with our same theme, Esteban gets the ball to Cortillo from the outside. Campagna kept it alive. Leitner commits the foul.
That's one area that Christian Leitner is going to have to improve in a little bit. When Ewing goes out to challenge the shot, Leitner becomes the rebounder back there. He must clear that board. Got a little bit careless that time.
Shaving would be simple, and any razor would do, if your face were square. But your face has curves. Presenting the revolutionary Schick Tracer, the only razor with twin blades that flex. Compared to other razors, Schick Tracer puts more of the blade edge against your skin. So, for real faces, like yours, Schick Tracer, we're changing the face of shaving.
Give me Jordan and Barkley for Ewing and Mullen.
You got
I got Karl Malone, brute strength, rebounding, inside.
He gonna be running, jumping over people's head and slamming. Man,
let me show you.
He cannot
Real
play power
sweet.
forward.
Larry Bird.
And Robinson, who will jam.
Sorry, I won.
You didn't win. You lost.
Well, I won. I won. I got all the stars.
Just because you got a few championships doesn't mean everybody in your team is good.
I'm sorry. You know, that's
doesn't
it.
mean everybody on your team is good.
They know how to win.
No, they don't.
They know how to win.
They can't win.
You can't understand.
You may think of me as a little kid, but I know a lot about basketball.
You know a lot about cards, but you don't know a lot about basketball.
Got about John Stockton.
John Stockton for who?
For you. Well, no, I'm going to keep John Stockton because I would sit you on the bench and then put Stockton in for you.
Who you going to sit on the bench?
USA Basketball Collector Cards from Skybox.
TNT presents an all-day movie salute to the bold spirits who conquered a wilderness and defeated an empire.
I have not yet begun the fight.
A 4th of July movie salute, all day Saturday on TNT.
U.S. more than doubling the score of Argentina. U.S. headed to a 4-0 record. They've already qualified for the Olympics. This was a lot of people thought an afterthought of having to qualify, but only the host team and the returning gold medal winner qualifies. Since the U.S. didn't win the gold the last time, they had to play in this tournament. USA doubling the rebounding of Argentina, too.
Well, when you look at the 3-game composite stats that the United States has played thus far in this tournament, they're outscoring their opponents by 60, but the rebounding is they're up 20, average assists 33 to 10, 3-point field goals, the United States shooting 45%, the opponents 33%, and turnovers only 14 a game for the United States. So they've done a nice job of not allowing the game to get wild, where you try to make the spectacular play and the game gets sloppy. They have not played like that. I think that's a real credit to these guys to making the simple play.
Pippen playing the point guard position now. Barkley drains the 3. Charles has a quick 12 points off the bench to lead all U.S. scorers. Mullen, before he rested, had 11 points. He's now back in the game.
Again, Charles Barkley loves this international game. His power, you're going to see him out on the break here. You see him running.
Pippen. Leitner with a beautiful tip in.
Nice play by Christian Leitner. Excellent job of tracking that ball on the offensive rebound and keeping it alive. Good hands. I think you're going to see his game really, really start to grow. People have questioned what kind of an NBA player he's going to be. I think he's going to be a tremendous NBA player.
Beautiful backdoor pass and then the miss from Campagna. Number 4 knocking it down is Luis Villar. He's a 6'7" forward. Been on this national team since 1987. Cordoba in Argentina.
Well, What's an interesting lineup you have on the floor right now. You see Pippen and I guess Mullen at the guards, Barkley, Leitner, and Patrick Ewing. Versatility. Barkley wants to shoot another three.
Behind the back to Patrick Ewing, who draws the foul.
I think Patrick is having still a little bit of a difficult time when he goes up to dunk the basketball because he had the dislocation of his thumb. He's very tentative to dunk the basketball. You see him laying it up around the basket. You'll see on his right thumb, he has it heavily taped. It was actually cut. There were stitches, so the dislocation really broke the skin. And I still am sure it's very tender.
Coming up at halftime, the Kraft halftime report. We'll have some NBA news and notes, and there have been some trade activity today in the league. We'll tell you about it. Three-way trade with Portland, San Antonio, and Milwaukee. Look at the 1936 U.S. men's Olympic team. The first one, they had to qualify also. Chuck Daly talks to Doug Collins in an entertaining, insightful interview between two of the great coaching minds.
Oh, well, you are hyping that interview.
That'll be a buck. Number 7, De La Fuente, gets it to Campagna, very active with the ball. Campagna, however, is only 6'1", number 5 I'm talking about.
Yeah, Campagna, when he gets in there, is going to have a difficult time completing his shot. I'm sure he's used to getting in there and making some spectacular shots, but he's got guys in there that'll all block his shot.
Argentina only shooting 30%. Christian Leitner commits the foul and is already learning a little bit of the NBA as he walks away saying, who me?
Well, if you watch Christian, then one of the things, when he gets himself in trouble defensively is when he doesn't slide his feet and he reaches his hands in. And when he does that, he gets caught with little touch fouls. And the thing in the NBA is when these guys start to beat you off the dribble, you must slide your feet, get your shoulders in there. And if you reach too much, especially as a rookie, you're going to be in foul trouble. So that's an area he's going to have to stay away from the reaching and do a little bit more moving of his feet because chances are he's going to be playing out on the floor and not strictly just in the post.
I asked him what he thought the toughest thing would be for your son, Chris, who will be a freshman at Duke next year. And he says, well, the toughest thing for Chris is I won't be there to take care of him as a freshman.
Never lacking in confidence, Christian Leitner.
Barkley. Ewing with a rebound. Back up and in. Count it. He'll go to the line.
You know, we ought to get a picture of this bench. And we see Chuck Daly and Coach K and PJ and Lenny Wilkins, and they're laughing and having a good time. You see them with her. I want to see them next year when they're in New Jersey, Duke, Seton Hall, and Cleveland to get that same picture and remind them how relaxed they are in this game with this kind of talent, just to sit back and enjoy.
Ewing completes the three-point play, and it is 61-29, minute 41 to go in the half.
But Chuck was getting with me before the interview. He said, can you imagine? He said, I didn't even start Michael Jordan last night. He comes off the bench for me.
I always thought Michael be best as a six-man.
Yeah.
De La Fuente with the three. 6'5" guard. Pippen with the penetration. Barkley misses the dunk but draws the foul. I agree with you that Charles Barkley has really taken to this international basketball.
Well, he has all the things you need to be an international player. First of all, he has great strength. He has speed. He has quickness. He can score around the basket. He can finish on the break. He can offensive rebound. I think as much as anybody has played to their potential in this tournament. You see Chuck, the pensive thought he's probably worrying about the game he has to play tomorrow.
He's practicing the frown.
Yeah, that's that off day. He's wondering how he's going to practice these guys tomorrow.
Both the U.S. and Brazil have drawn a bye since they'll both win their pool. U.S. in Pool A, Brazil in Pool B. Tomorrow, the quarterfinals. The second and third place teams in each pool will play for the right to advance to the semis, which will be on Friday night. And we will, by the way, have the U.S. semifinal game for you on TNT at 10 Eastern time on Friday night.
Bob, you see Argentina's played a zone the whole game, and they're trying to slow the United States down, and even playing zone and preventing, you know, the easy, quick scores. The United States still had 63 points in the first half.
De La Fuente lost the dribble. Barkley to Pippen. And all that Miguel Cortijo could do was watch Scottie Pippen ram it home.
Yeah, Cortijo says guards finishing above the basket like that, you're supposed to lay that ball in.
You see the intimidation factor already. From the outside, that's Campagna.
That's where Campagna's going to be okay. Spotting up out there, shooting the three-point shot. You get inside, and every shot's going to be altered.
Campagna has 8 points. He leads all Argentina scorers. 65-37. Halftime score last night was 64-30 over Panama. So each one of these games has really been quite similar.
United States wants to get the last shot. Scotty's going to have to get it up, or Mullen.
For 3, you can count it. 68-37, a 31-point halftime lead. They're right on track for the 60-point average margin of victory.
From the first pitch to the final out. Baseball 92, Saturday mornings on CNN.
From the Portland Memorial Coliseum, it's a 31-point halftime lead for Team USA. Chris Mullen hit the 3 at the buzzer as he moved the ball out, spotted up in the corner from Scottie Pippen. And this gave the U.S. their 31-point lead, and Mullen finished the half with 14 points. In just a moment, we'll be back with the Kraft halftime report as the U.S. leads by 31.
TNT's favorite movies. Hosted by TNT's favorite stars. Thursdays and Sundays. A different host each week. TNT presents our favorite movies summer edition. Thursdays and Sundays all summer long. Nobody plays favorites like TNT.
This is Las Vegas. The Riviera's here, the Las Vegas Hilton. So is the exciting new Rio Suite Hotel and Casino, where every room is a suite. Sometimes you just need to get away from it all, right? But these days, you got to be smart about it. Smart. And that's what Players Club is all about. Save 25 to 50% on your hotel room, 25% off food and drinks, up to 50% off shows. So why not use the card to stretch your money in places like Atlantic City, Las Vegas, the Caribbean, even on cruises? Just use your Players Club card.
Players Club members are smart people who work hard for their money but come to us when they want to play. So we take good care of them with big discounts and VIP privileges.
Call the toll-free number for more information. There's no cost, no obligation. The Players Club card. Have some fun the smart way.
New members get 2 free nights in Las Vegas or Atlantic City when the club books their flights. Call toll-free right now. There's no obligation.
This is the Kraft Halftime Report, brought to you by Kraft. Kraft proudly sets the USA basketball training table.
U.S. leading by 31, 68-37 at halftime here in the Tournament of the Americas in Portland, Oregon. Well, some player transaction news on this July 1st in the NBA today. A 3-way deal went down. Everybody's been talking about it since we brought you the draft last week here from Portland. Portland gets the rights to Tracy Murray. He's the 6'8 forward who was the 18th pick in the first round from UCLA. Ala Abdelnaby will go to Milwaukee from Portland, and San Antonio acquires Dale Ellis from Milwaukee. And Doug, my first reaction is all three teams look pretty good with that movement.
Well, you know, if you're Portland, you've given up a veteran player who was starting to come around a little bit in Alaa Abdelnaby, has some quickness and speed around the basket, can score a little bit. Fell out of favor with the Portland coaching staff this year. Milwaukee, I think, gets another young player, gets some speed and quickness. And when you see what they've added, Todd Day, Mayberry, Blue Edwards, Murdoch, and Abdelnaby, they've really changed their whole team, gotten younger, quicker, and faster. Portland now today has lost Danny Ainge and Abdelnaby, which I think will hurt their team. Tracy Murray, a young player, you're not really sure what he's going to bring you. He is a great long-range shooter. As far as San Antonio is concerned, the one thing they needed, a piece of the puzzle they need, with David Robinson, you need perimeter shooting, and Dale Ellis is one of the great three-point shooters in the NBA. I think he will help San Antonio.
And you saw that Danny Ainge signed a $3.2 million deal, a $5.2 million deal for 3 years in Phoenix. He'll join Charles Barkley down there. Well, while the 1992 U.S. Olympic team may be remembered as the greatest team ever assembled, things were quite different 56 years ago. The 1936 Berlin Olympics was the first time basketball was acknowledged as a medal sport. The team the U.S. sent to those games wasn't at all like this year's team. No team ever has been. Certainly not in versions of publicity, accommodation, style of play, and not in the way the team was selected. In 1936, there were no Olympic trials. 7-man teams competed for 2 spots, and the U.S. actually sent 2 teams to play to fight for gold in a country that was gearing up for a world war.
The decision was made after a national tournament in New York City. 2 AAU teams, the McPherson Globe Oilers with Francis Johnson and the Universal Studios team, captained by Frank Lubin, would alternate every game and make up the first United States Olympic basketball squad. On July 15th, 1936, this group set sail for Germany.
Our practice sessions were nil on the boat. We just ran around, trotted around, get our legs in condition, and passed the ball a few times.
Many of the teams dipped their flag to Hitler as they came in, and so there was a lot of speculation of what we'd do, but we did. We went right in there proud with our flag flying high, and it was a very proud moment. We didn't know they were coming, actually. We were out on the veranda behind, and Hitler and Eva Braun, his girlfriend, came through one night, and we visited with them. We conversed back and forth and for probably 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and they took off, went on down through the village, making their inspection of the Olympic Village.
There was a big sign, about 4 foot square, said Juden verboten. And I said, I don't understand languages. What does that mean? He says, that means Jews are forbidden.
The village itself was built right next to the Army barracks that they had, and it was just a matter of time until it was going to be war.
Alternating games between the McPherson and Universal teams, the U.S. breezed through the competition, playing on an outdoor court. The final game would be against Canada.
Finally, when it come time to play, it was raining, and so we just played. There wasn't any way to dribble. I mean, every time the ball hit the ground, why, it was just waterlogged. You couldn't cut for the ball. If you started out, you got to stop. When you go to stop, you just slip and fall and slide maybe 15 or 20 feet.
And there I was with my teammates sitting in the stands under an umbrella. So now everybody will know that Lubin didn't play in the final game, yet he got a gold medal.
We got out ahead, and then after that, we just played keep away. They couldn't have beaten us anyhow, even if it'd been on good footing.
Winning the gold by a final of 19-8, these 2 men are now forever linked.
Never in my life have I played with Francis Johnson, and yet here we are, gold medals on the same American team.
We knew that we were the first American Olympic basketball team, and we'd won the gold medal. No matter whatever, we'd always be #1. Never could take that away from us.
Well, that's the story of the 1936 Olympics. I'm sitting with the man here who hit the famous free throws in 1972 at Munich. prior to the game being taken away after the mystery 3 seconds were placed back on the clock. Doug, you've talked to Sports Illustrated, a beautiful article in there a couple of weeks ago, but you've talked to everybody in the world literally about that. As you watch this American team here, how are your personal feelings involved going way back to 72? I know they're still with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime the Olympic experience rolls around, you think back on what might have been, and, you know, the gold medal and the opportunity to come back to the United States and all the things that go with that. But I see the United States team, and it gives me great pride to see the way they're handling themselves. I mean, these are the greatest players in the world, but the way they have come together and really sublimated their own egos for the good of the team, I think says a lot for them as individuals, for the way they feel about our country, and also for the great job that our coaches have done in putting this team together.
For a lot of Americans, I know never will you ever forget that experience, but this might be a get-back, the way this team is playing in world competition, because things have certainly gone south since then in terms of world competition. We'll be back in just a moment. Doug Collins talks with Chuck Daly when we return.
USA Basketball has recognized women's basketball at a different level. Women's basketball is exciting because we really know how to play below the rim. For women's basketball, this is it. This is the top. You know, this is the best it gets.
Chuck Daly became the 11th U.S. Olympic basketball coach. A lot of people wondered how he would handle all the egos involved with the 10 greatest basketball players in the world. Well, he handled them very well, as Doug found out when he chatted with him just prior to tonight's ball game.
Well, Chuck, you know, a tremendous honor for you to coach the United States Olympic team, and something well-deserved with all the things you've done in basketball. And I think your approach has really excited the players here. As I see them, the positive things, I feel that you've let them have their opportunities as long as they're ready to play basketball. So you have to feel very good about the way they were responding.
I really do. We had a strong meeting to open. The intensity was unbelievable. The practices were great. And, you know, we've light rain, little organization, have fun, but play hard. And that's exactly what they've done.
You know, it's amazing. I hear a guy like Michael Jordan, and I know Michael very well. I hear, well, I'm on vacation. And then you see him get in the game and the way he plays. I don't think this man ever goes on vacation, do you?
You know, I made a statement, if he's ever cut, the wires are going to cut. He's absolutely bionic. He plays 36 holes a day, and then he comes out, picks up a point guard from inline to inline. But I'll tell you one thing that he did state, that during the regular season and in the finals, it was so focused on him, and he had to keep his team at such a level that he doesn't feel that he has that kind of pressure, and he is having fun with the game. And we're trying to keep his minutes even. I imagine didn't start him the other night. Michael Jordan coming off the bench. It's been really great. They've been terrific, very professional.
As you look now on to Barcelona, you know, I know you, and I know you always think of the worst. You're that prince of pessimism. How do you keep these guys, I mean, the way they're dispatching everybody so easily? I mean, is overconfidence the only thing that can get in your guys' way?
One of my first statements was that the only way we can be beat is beat ourselves. And frankly, that's one of the areas we're going to have to be concerned about, because we probably will have 1 or 2 tough games. The question will be, are we ready for them?
You know, as I watched the game the other day against Cuba, you guys came out and just, I mean, the game was over in a hurry. And in the last 2 ball games, it's been a period where maybe the first 10 minutes a team plays you evenly, and it's almost like the fans now are so spoiled. It's like, why aren't you up 30? But it seems like this team is just poised and waiting for that 30-10 run or 28-5 burst that they have with the great defense.
Yeah, the defensive intensity is the key, because they're going to control the ball. They're going to play zone defense and make us pull up. We've got to keep attacking, but the key, defensive intensity and run, and we're unstoppable.
Well, Chuck, the only thing I have to ask is when you're in Barcelona and you get your gold medal, think of me in 1972 and give me a little wave from the victory stand, okay?
I will, but coaches don't get it.
I know that, but at least,
maybe you'll buy me one. You'd ever go in your pocket.
Right. I will buy you one.
Chuck Daly's got that right. He never goes in his pocket. He's got everybody scouted, including Doug Collins. USA leading by 31 at halftime.
This has been the Kraft Halftime Report, brought to you by Kraft. Kraft proudly sets the USA basketball training table.
Bueno, muchachos, calmados, calmados. Antes de ir a entrenar, vamos a ver un video que es clave. Estos muchachos son increíbles. Los americanos lo llaman el Dream Team.
Wake up, world. 10 of the NBA's most versatile players have united on this one-of-a-kind home video, the Dream Team. It's an all-American collection of high-flying NBA highlights and behind-the-scenes video profiles of the team selected to take on the world. The Dream Team is available wherever NBA videos are sold.
Ay, ay, ay. Everybody's different.
Completely different. One person works one way, another person works another.
There's no business exactly like yours, which is why IBM offers thousands of customized software programs and free seminars, all designed to help you run things your way.
You don't have anybody else to count on, to blame things on when things go wrong, but you get all the glory when things go right.
Today's halftime highlights, brought to you by Phillips Lighting.
Here are the highlights from the first half. Christian Laettner, the Well, that's a nice look. Imagine how scary that must be.
Well, look, your smallest player is Michael Jordan on the floor at 6'6". You've got Pippen at about 6'8", Magic at 6'9", Robinson at 7'1", and Ewing at 7 feet. So you got size, speed, quickness, passing. Again, the way that this team was put together and the pieces of the puzzle that Chuck Daly can use so very well.
Ewing is fouled on the jump shot. I got a kick out of it. Folks, the international press here was interviewing Chuck Daly about the U.S. domination in this tournament. And Chuck Daly said, well, you know, a lot of the U.S. youngsters are instinctively good basketball players. And Charles Barkley chimed in and said, what Chuck's trying to say is he's got a bunch of boys of the hood here to show the world how good we can play. As Charles always the interpreter.
Only Charles could reduce it that quickly and that simply to those kind of terms.
The boys in the hood. He is enjoying himself. Has been mild-mannered with this group. You know, Charles Barkley always the outspoken one in Philadelphia. And with this group, they've kept Charles under rein to some degree.
Well, I think that the one thing they know is Charles probably the most emotional guy on this team. And when he starts to get a little emotional, someone's always going over there trying to keep him calm. You see the United States a little trapping defense now. So you've got 2 shot blockers trying to force some traps. Just experimenting with things they can use over in Barcelona.
Jordan open for the 3. The rebound pulled down by De La Fuente.
So you see Magic Johnson come up now, Pippen. They're a little 3-2 trapping zone defense with 2 shot blockers and size to try to pass against. You see the nice 3-point opportunity, though. Good ball movement that time by Argentina.
Noticed all the teams in this tournament. These are good perimeter shooting teams, including this man here, De La Fuente. But the intimidation factor on the U.S. defenders running at them causes them to shoot out of their rhythm. So they're not even shooting as well as they normally do.
Yes, they get the shot off too quickly, so they never really get a good look at the basket. You see right now the United States going to go inside to Patrick Ewing and David Robinson. Ewing will go back to the free throw line one more time.
That's the first on De La Fuente.
Team foul number 3.
Patrick Ewing has 12 points off the bench and 7 rebounds. Hope you'll join us Friday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Doug and I will be back here in Portland for the semifinals of the Tournament of the Americas. The USA quest for gold continues right here on TNT. The most probable opponent for the U.S., it hasn't been determined yet because the quarterfinals are tomorrow, will be Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico's a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah, they have a lot of the former college players from the United States. Jerome Menzies playing on that ball club. The excellent player from UAB, Ramon Rivas from Temple, will be on that team.
Jose Ortiz.
Jose Ortiz, who played a couple years for the Utah Jazz, played, I think, at Oregon State. So they have some American players who could give the United States a game for a while. You know, the United States will win the game handily, but it could be a contest for a short period of time.
Give you something to illustrate maybe in the first 5 minutes of the game. Campagna with 10 points. He scored that last hoop. Michael Jordan. You do see how the zone defense takes away the inside game of a great player like Michael Jordan. Here's Campagna.
Well, he did a nice job that time. He got David Robinson in the air, and then the nice penetrating dribble and that little flip move. That's a pro play that you see these guys, I'm sure, have picked up by watching television. The little flip move over the big guy to prevent the shot from being blocked. Good concentration and nice finish.
Campagna's 27. He's been on the national team since 1985, so he has a lot of international experience. Michael Jordan with 11 points, 4 assists right before the halftime ended. Here the game is at halftime. These are the opponents. 3 of the Argentinian players walked down the court with, looked like a trainer, and asked Michael to stop his warm-up and take photos with him. And Michael rolled his eyes and smiled. Except for the opportunity.
Bob, you can see these guys are very well schooled against zone defenses, though. They see a lot of zone defenses, and the guy flashed right to the middle of the floor, right to the three-point line, and got the easy shot. The United States not real comfortable playing zone, so some gaps in it right now.
Pippen to Robinson.
The unselfish play, though. Scottie Pippen had the shot, and he gave it up to David Robinson. That has been really, I think, the theme. Defense and unselfish passing really has been the theme of this ball club, and I think it really shows a lot that in 6 days, these guys can get such a great feel of one another.
You saw the U.S. trap and then Michael Jordan with the near steal. We've seen that several times in the tournament also.
Right there, turnover, and this leads to a fast break.
4-on-2. The bounce pass intercepted by De La Fuente. And the answer on the other end from Cortez.
They're going to stop and use that three-point line. You see more and more of this filtering even into the United States now in high school basketball, college basketball, the three-point line being so close.
Jordan to Pippen to Robinson. The cross-court ball movement. Chuck Daly said that they're working a little bit more on skip passes, meaning getting it from one side of the court to the other without hitting the middleman on the pass, and working against the zone. So you're seeing this U.S. team come together and practice a lot of things for international competition, even as they play in the tournament.
Well, Bob, when you use the skip pass, as Michael here is going to... Nice play. You were waiting for Michael to do something spectacular, and he did it with the pass to Scottie Pippen. But the skip pass against the zone, what it does, it forces the zone to make 2 slides instead of 1. And when you do that, you normally get very good shots by making 1 more pass.
Magic trying to force it inside. Let's look at this again. We talk about the globetrotter comparisons, meaning this great exhibition of basketball. Here's some trickery.
This is something you use as a warm-up drill before games. It's a little tip drill that you do. Throw the ball off the glass, and the last guy down the floor gets the dunk. At this time, it's Scotty. But Michael just having fun.
Robinson taking it hard to the hoop, something he has not done very much in this tournament. Remember, he's coming off thumb surgery.
Yeah, I think that David early was a little tentative. A lot of his shots around the basket were flip shots rather than the power moves that he normally makes in San Antonio. It looks like he's starting to get more confidence that the injury is healed.
VR with the foul. 81-45.
Yep, I'm part of the management team now, Mama.
Oh, baby, I'm so proud of you.
It's only afternoons.
But still, it's a promotion.
I gotta get back to work.
Guess what, Anna?
Calvin is the new manager at McDonald's.
Straight up? Cal's been on it at Mickey D's, so they gave him his properties.
He owns a McDonald's and just got his property.
For real?
Calvin?
Calvin, they used to hang out on the corner?
So you own McDonald's?
No, not yet.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. A dream I move, a dream I grew.
Like Mike, if I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. Like Mike, if I could be like Mike. Be like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
The 1992 Basketball Tournament of the Americas is brought to you by Schick, proud sponsor of USA Basketball. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving. By Converse, it's what's inside that counts. And by IBM, official information system of USA Basketball.
15:49 to go in the game. USA up 81-45. Doug, our slam cam gets some real workout in this tournament.
Well, it's getting a lot of use in this half as we see the United States with about 5 dunks. But here, the old tip drill, Dave, there used to do before practice, throw the ball off the glass. The last guy down gets the dunk. That time, Scottie Pippen.
Doug Collins talking about Dave Gavitt, who is president of USA Basketball. And we've invited Dave to join us here courtside to watch some of the game, talk to us about the USA Basketball team. And Dave, first of all, thanks a lot for coming over here and chatting with us, because you're the man with the source of the information about this team. And we have some questions for you that I know a lot of the fans are interested in, such as the status with this couple of injuries to the players and the qualifying for the team. First of all, you've got to be really pleased with the way this team has come together and the American attitude toward it. The enthusiasm has been tremendous.
You know, at the time FIBA made competition open, people said, well, the NBA and the colleges could never get along. We got by that very easily. That's worked great. They said, well, maybe the NBA guys will play, but you'll never get the great ones to play. Well, I don't know if they're not the great ones out there now, Doug. I don't know who we're looking at. And these guys have been absolutely fabulous. They've bonded just great. They've played with tremendous concentration. They're having fun. And all the little things I'm so pleased about. I mean, they've been just great with the other sports, with the Olympic Committee. They've made a commitment to be our women's team's biggest cheerleaders in Barcelona. They made a commitment to have a presence in the village. They want to interact with the other players. And you see that the South and Central American teams that have played against us here, I mean, it's been so exciting for them.
You know, it's almost like a thrill. These guys are so happy to be on the floor with these players. You see them before the games and after the games. But, Dave, I think the tremendous thing is what you guys have done is you've got three-point shooting, you have versatility, you have size. And the thing is, the defense and the unselfishness really, I think, has bonded everything together.
It's been great. I mean, it's, you know, it's really a credit to all of them that they are stepped up the way they have stepped up. But then to play unselfishly and to do the things they've done, it's been marvelous. Doug, you and I have played so many international games and been around it. I've seen something here in Portland I've never seen before. The visiting team wants to pose for a picture with our players before the game. And I said to Chuck Daly today, I said, Chuck, the first game we play, where you don't get a request for the picture before the game, you'll know we're in trouble.
And that score by Juan Espiel, by the way, just to update you on the game, Doug, 86-51, 14-18 to go in this contest.
The status, if there is a problem and Larry Bird, you know, has to decide he can't play, let's think that the best so that he will play. And Stockton's a problem. Is July 15th, is that the day that you have to submit the alternates? And what will the situation, will the committee get together again? Is that how it will work?
Well, they'll take it in reverse order, Doug. We've got a smaller group chaired by C.M. Newton, the chairman of the main committee, and made up of Rod Thorne and our coaching staff. And it'll be that group of 6 that will decide any replacement. Hopefully we won't need them. We've been very cautious holding people out here. You know, I mean, Bird could have played tonight. Drexler could have played tonight. We're hearing good things about John getting back, and he desperately wants to get back. July 15th is in the regulations, but we've had an indication from FIBA in the last 24 hours that they expect a 24-hour window to be made available to all teams just prior to the opening ceremonies at the Olympic Games. So we may indeed have another 12 days for that determination to be made.
Well, that's a piece of news, and you're listening to the voice, by the way, of Dave Gavitt, who is president of USA Basketball, combining with the NBA to put together this Dream Team USA that's been rolling through these games in the Tournament of the Americas by an average of 60 points a game, on the way the same kind of win here against Argentina tonight. Michael Jordan has 15. That feed came from Magic Johnson, and Montenegro with the rebound to Milanesio.
Whoa. Bob's pretty good with these Spanish names, isn't he? Huh?
This is Mr. World Cup soccer out here. You got to remember.
You're getting ready for '94, Bob.
Argentina a little bit stronger in soccer than they are international basketball. However, basketball is the #2 sport in Argentina, behind soccer.
You know, I think that what we're seeing this time is step 1, and step 2, in my opinion, will be the first time that the United States hosts the World Championship. For the rest of the world, they're like the World Cup. In our country, we've never played them here. Nobody knows what they are. And our goal is to host them in '98. We'll think we'll be successful to do that. Coming off the Atlanta Olympics in '96, I think you're going to see the world, you know, the basketball around the world just explode, and it's unbelievable what's happened here.
Now, Dave, there's also been some talk of possibly having a college team like a Ryder Cup team also, too, where the college players will get a chance to play.
That's the most important thing we have to work on in the next 4 years, Doug, and we are absolutely going to get it done just like we've gotten this done. We've put together a preliminary agreement with FIBA. It will be a Ryder Cup format, Team USA, which we've never really had before. It'll be our elite college players, all the guys that have been our Olympians over all the years, like yourself, playing in their junior and senior year, and they'll play Team Europe, the best 22 and under players in all of Europe. And you and I know, because we see the NBA draft, that more and more Europeans are popping up at age 22. And I think playing under the European flag and us playing under our flag, we're going to start this in the summer '93. It'll be played every 2 years. Get Kevin O'Malley and the boys ready, and we'll negotiate with you to get it on this network. I think there's a lot of interest in it, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be very important, and I think it's going to be the next big hit that we have with USA Basketball.
Dave Gavitt, president of USA Basketball. Dave, thanks for joining us here tonight. You've got a career in the business, nice voice, and I think you could do the Argentinian names, too. 94-54 USA.
I hadn't been on vacation in so long, I couldn't wait to grab my luggage and get to the beach. I had to get to Dollar Rent-A-Car fast. I knew they were right on the airport with low rates.
Welcome to Dollar.
Hello, I have a car rental reservation.
No problem. I'll just punch it up on the computer. Dollar Rent-A-Car is right on the airport, right on the money, with over 1,000 locations around the world. Call your travel consultant or Dollar at 1-800-800-4000.
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy. Yankee Doodle do or die.
James Cagney in his Academy Award-winning performance, Yankee Doodle Dandy, Sunday at 9 on TNT.
The fascination always existed. The human body, without doubt, is the greatest of inventions. Flawless in design, capable of astonishing feats. Amazingly, the harder the body is worked, the stronger, more beautiful it becomes. To unlock your body's potential, we proudly offer Soloflex. 32 old-fashioned iron-pumping exercises, each correct in form and balance. All on a machine that fits in the corner of your home. Soloflex, simple and efficient, like the body itself. Which may explain why it looks less like a machine and more like a work of art. For a free brochure, call anytime.
USA 94-54 with 11 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in this game from Portland, Oregon. And we talk about the Olympic gold medal winners. The last winner was the Soviet Union, which of course is no longer in existence. It's now the Commonwealth of Independent States. That's why there's a qualifying tournament. They won it in 88 and 72. Otherwise, it was the United States, with the exception of 1980 during the boycott. That year, Yugoslavia, the winners.
Patrick Ewing at the line and shooting 1.
Patrick Ewing with 15 points. If he hits this free throw, he'll be the leading scorer on the U.S. team. Talk about balance. Ewing has 15. Pippen has 10, 8 in this half. Barkley has 14 points. Jordan 15. Robinson 12. Mullen 14. And that balance is what is so devastating for the international competition. Whenever the game changes in terms of substitutes, the team actually gets better for a few minutes.
Well, again, it's that attrition. You just keep coming at a team with this kind of talent. Eventually, you wear them down. You see the United States staying in this trapping defense. Not only do they work against this in practice, but it helps them in case they're going to face it with other teams.
That was Milanaccio, and that was an NBA-length three-pointer.
I like him. I think he and Espiel are two very good young guards. You see that Espiel is very young-looking. I don't know how old he is right here, Bob, but he's got a very young face, and he's got a lot of talent.
Espiel's only 23. Jordan with the penetration. Robinson with the rebound and the miss. Ewing tip. Talk about twin towers. They couldn't get it done. Nice behind the back move from Perez. And the fast break is rewarded for Perez and his defensive hustle. Number 14 with the score.
That's what people have been waiting for.
Hello. Everybody here in the arena looking up at the replay board. We'll give you a chance to see that again in just a moment. I would have gotten about a 9, I think, in the slam dunk competition.
Well, they're firing away from 3 now.
Jordan with the rebound. Pippen on the right. Robinson on the left. Montenegro cherry picking.
We've seen this before. Montenegro says, I'm going to get mine off here down too. Give me a little dunk.
That was my rec league game.
There's Michael again.
Jordan has 19.
People have been waiting for this. 2 explosive dunks by Michael Jordan.
Did you see Montenegro? He makes the bounce pass between his legs. All right, here we go. This is 2 trips ago for Michael Jordan.
Well, the speed and quickness, the crossover, and then the explosion to take the ball to the basket. Makes it look so easy. Look at him just take off and just rise through the air. It's almost like he gets there and there's another level that he can go to. And then this is the one from the side. This reminds me of the slam dunk competition in '88 in Seattle when he made this move looking down at the basket. Now Mullen's out in the lineup, so they'll spread it out, and he'll probably bust a 3 here pretty soon.
Malone in there, too. He throws it away. Espiel. Oh, a beautiful play over Jordan, who had skied above the rim. Barkley answers so very quickly.
And we might see a 150-point game here tonight. It scored 102, and we still have over 9 minutes to go in the game. Not a lot of defense being played right now. Looks like Argentina is just content on trying to score.
They've already scored more than any other team in this tournament has against them. Jordan with the spin. This is Jordan's biggest offensive show of the Tournament of the Americas. He put on a defensive exhibition last night. And answering quickly is Juan Espiel. Oh, the crowd getting into this. They like this we'll swap baskets with you idea. Mullen from the corner. That's a 2.
You know, when Chris Mullen shoots the ball, it looks like every shot is going to go in. He has such beautiful form on his shot. When he misses, it's almost like, why did he miss? But every shot looks like it's going to go in.
The lob attempt went down to number 14, Perez. You can lob if the ball is beneath the hoop when you catch it. Then you can jam it.
That rule was put in because of me. All my lobs were below the rim, Bob. So.
Pippen misses the jam. Malone throws it away. Here's Espiel and Jordan. This is a nice replay.
Michael is tracking him down here. He's going to block this shot. And you see Espiel, that's that little NBA flip shot there. And Michael says, I think I'll respond. A little between the legs, a little spin. Where did I go?
21 points, 8 assists for Michael. Here's Montenegro. A little spin move inside himself. This is a man who calls himself crazy. You see the 22 that's stenciled in his haircut. The numerical symbol in Argentina with 22 is crazy. That's why Montenegro stamped that in. The players have been calling him Hugo. His real name is Hernan Montenegro. 23-24 for Jordan.
Michael, the first game against Cuba, took 6 shots. He was 2 for 6 and only 6 points. It's like he's working himself up as this tournament goes on. You can see him getting more and more into the things as they go along, but playing spectacular basketball.
Mullen with the rebound easily over the head of Milanesio.
Oh, Scotty's got to be careful. Guy running up behind him.
Milanesio with the steal. Espiel out in front to Perez. And Argentina has scored 69 points as the U.S. defense has become lax really for the first time in this tournament. And the U.S. content here to just run up and down the court and trade baskets. Jordan with the pass to Barkley in traffic. Count the basket. And Charles will go to the free throw line.
Michael Jordan just took off to get the offensive rebound. They got 3 guys in the air before he dished off. That's 9 assists now for Michael. But you see the great play gets 3 guys in the air. There's the dunk.
Long before Scottie Pippen was chosen for the USA basketball team,
Hey, Pippen, Martin. Look, that's Big Harold. Want to play? Yeah.
he had to prove himself here. He knew he could count on his friend, Ronnie Martin.
Now, Scotty.
AT&T salutes all of our Olympic hopefuls and everyone who helped them get this far.
Hey, Scotty, those guys at the Olympics going to be tough.
Why? Did they sign Big Harold?
Listen, Coca-Cola's putting together the biggest music event of the summer with the hottest acts in the business. Elton John, Natalie Cole, Eric Clapton.
5 minutes to the store.
In Excess, Randy Travis, and more. And you can win collector's edition CDs and cassettes with these great artists. It's all free, but there's only one place you can get them. Right here.
This summer, there's music in the real thing. You could win one of 20 million prizes in specially marked packages of Coca-Cola products.
This is a story about 2 of the baddest men who ever put on little short pants. One day, they were surrounded by the Russian and the dreaded Italian. Ah! They quick put on their magical shoes from Converse and dissed them all big time. Then they snatched the ball of gold and brought it home to Grandmama.
Is that true, Grandmama?
It will be, child. It will be.
Today's game summary, brought to you by Converse.
6:54 remaining in this one. All the teams prior to this game who have played the U.S. have been held to 34% shooting, so Argentina with success there. Second chance points, U.S. dominating again, and in the paint, USA 58-28.
Well, as we were away to break, you said one thing to me. You said Argentina is an exciting, entertaining team, and they are. But, you know, it gets lost in the greatness of this United States team. But they've competed, they've tried as well as they can, and they realize that right now, if they can score some points and have some fun, this is something they can take back with them to Argentina. But they are an entertaining team. They have some speed, they have some quickness, they can shoot the basketball on the perimeter. They got a couple very nice young guards.
This is Hector Campagna, the most popular and famous player in Argentina, number 5. Milanesio, number 9, is the point guard and floor leader of the team.
The United States has substituted this timeout later in the game, along with Magic Johnson and Karl Malone. Back to the straight man-to-man defense. They've gone away from the half-court trap. Karl Malone with excellent hands there to strip the ball from Montenegro.
Leitner from Johnson. Oh, you can see why Christian Leitner went so high in the draft. Great quickness, outside shot he's got, good post-up game, and can run the floor.
Well, see, that's an area that people forget as he gets out and runs the lane exceptionally well, and at 6'11", finishes very nicely around the basket.
Montenegro, again, quickly to the hoop, but can't finish. Magic Johnson with 12 assists. A little too much mustard on that one. Here's his 12th assist, as a matter of fact, to Christian Leitner moments ago.
Well, Magic in the middle of the floor, dishing off to Leitner, and with a nice finish.
Michael Jordan on his way to a triple-double with 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists on the bench at the moment. No look from Milanesio to Campagna into Montenegro. Good ball movement by Argentina inside, and they've outscored all the competition against the U.S. so far. 114-71 for Argentina.
You watch this Milanesio, and he's got a little bounce. He's got a little cockiness to his game. He's quick. He's trying to take the ball to the basket, make something happen.
Mullen with the bounce pass. The rejection from Montenegro.
Oh, Christian will hear about that tomorrow in practice.
Campagna with the pull-up. It'll rattle home. 114-73. This is the least blowout so far. Mullen. This is the three. Magic Johnson. As Milanesio went between his legs, the ball came up in the hands of Irvin. Mullen's shot rims out.
Mullen missed 2 shots in a row. We're going to have an investigation here.
Campagna. That's a three.
Argentina's hanging in there. Under 30 points at this stage in time. Normally it's a 60-point game.
Chuck Daly looks worried.
Yeah, Chuck's going to have to call a timeout here and get all over these guys.
U.S. has been winning these games by 60 points.
Last night we were sitting on press row and somebody had given, 80 points in the game. Montenegro with another block.
That's 2 in a row.
Keep your eye on him and Charles. I'm telling you, there's a nice move, but Charles and Montenegro, before the night's over, those two guys can be at each other.
Magic Johnson to Barkley. 13 assists for Magic.
Magic Johnson loves to pass the basketball. Here's a guy who just doesn't even look for a shot. Just loves to pass the basketball and make the spectacular play on the fast break.
Argentina with a couple of substitutes coming onto the floor as Chuck Daly will talk to his troops who have allowed 76 points here tonight.
It's a whole new feeling. Come see what we've done. It gets better and better at Sheraton.
At ITT Sheraton, we spent $1 billion to get ready for your next business trip. Come stay with us.
We spent $1 billion so you'll feel like $1 million. Sheraton Hotels. It's a whole new feeling.
Mount Kilimanjaro is 19,340 feet high. Kalihiwai Jungle has an average annual rainfall of 75 inches. Bryce Canyon is 998 feet deep. These are some of the specifications used to create the new Jeep.
T92 Basketball Tournament of the Americas is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. By Skybox International, the magic of cards. And by ITT Sheraton, proud sponsor of USA Basketball.
United States leading by 40, 3 minutes, 58 seconds. remaining in this ball game. Prior to today's ball game, the USA posed for their team picture. And you'll notice Larry Bird up there on the left, right behind Patrick Ewing. As you said, they're calling each other Harry and Larry.
All he does is mess with him the whole time during this photo shoot.
Larry Bird resting his back. As Dave Gavitt told us, Larry Bird could have played in this game, but they're trying to be as cautious as possible with Larry. Clyde Drexler also could have played tonight, but they drained some fluid from his knee. And Dave Gavitt, president of USA Basketball, also told us that John Stockton's injury possibly not as serious as at first feared.
Well, you see John Stockton on the bench now. He's got a brace on his leg. I don't know if that's just to give him a little support when he's walking. He's walking with a very much of a limp right now. So I think the one thing is, and all the things I've heard about Stockton's injury, it's if he can withstand the pain, it's not the kind of injury that can get worse. The bone is going to heal within 6 weeks. Whether he plays on it or not, it's will he be able to withstand the pain.
Milanesio goes out of the ball game to appreciative applause. This crowd, U.S. leads it by 40 with 3.5 minutes to go.
Vanya's quick.
Into Villar. And that basket will fall. Good interior passing here.
The foul is on Christian Leitner.
Now it's time, and this is always a tough selection, for the Miller Genuine Draft play of the game. But I kind of like the backboard jam.
Yeah, I would have to say this was the most spectacular play of this game. There's been many. Michael's had some beautiful dunks, but the little timing play that time between Michael and Scotty.
Mullen on the floor with Magic Johnson, Karl Malone, Christian Laettner, and Charles Barkley for the final 3 minutes, 15 seconds.
A little passing game, motion passing game in the United States now. Spreading the floor, passing, cutting, really playing without a center. Laettner is playing the 5 spot right now, but you'd have to say he and Malone and Magic Johnson and Barkley, Mullen, all really interchangeable players right now. So just a little motion to try to get the ball moving.
Actually, Magic has more experience than center than Christian.
That's right. Yeah, you have to bring back another bad memory for me, 1980, when he hit us in Philadelphia for 42 points and 16 rebounds in Game 6 to win his first NBA championship.
What a memory you have. Of course, what a thing to remember, huh? Doug and I will be back here on Friday night for the semifinals of this basketball tournament of the Americas, 10 o'clock Eastern time. We'll have Team USA in the semifinals, most probably against Puerto Rico. The quarterfinals tomorrow night, so that hasn't been determined, but that's a pretty good guess. From the corner, Hector Campagna.
Hector Campagna
has 17 points. A 36-point lead for Team USA with 2.5 minutes to go. Karl Malone throws it away. Christian Laettner collects it. Mullen from Laettner. Mullen draws the foul.
Very unstealthy pass that time by Christian Laettner. He had the little 8-foot jump shot, and you can see that the extra passing is contagious. Laettner with the nice pass to Mullen.
Under what conditions, Doug Collins, to throw you a curveball, could the United States lose a game in the Olympic quest?
They can't. I mean, in fact, you know, I would challenge the world to put together their best team, bring anybody you want to in a best 7-game series, best 4 of 7, and play the United States. They're not going to. No one is going to beat this team. I mean, there's just too many weapons, and if one player's having an off night, you've got too many other guys you can go to. They play great defense. They pass the basketball. They shoot the free. They have every ingredient. They can't lose. There's no way.
Frank DeFord suggested only accidental food poisoning.
Well, maybe, you know, in fact, if they could only get 4 guys to the game, and I'm not so sure they couldn't beat some of these teams 4 on 5.
I would tend to agree with you. Greatest assembly of athletes ever in the team since. Barkley. The crowd chanting, "We want Clyde." You heard them cheer a moment ago. That's because the video projection screen here above the arena showed a picture of Clyde Drexler. He's resting a sore knee. VR with the lay-in for Argentina. They put up 83 points here. 120-83 USA. Minute 46 to go. Magic Johnson.
You know, Bob, something we have not talked about that I think is incredible is the fact that Magic Johnson has not played basketball but one time this year, and that was in the All-Star game that he can be this sharp. I mean, it's a tribute to his greatness that his timing and all is so good. He has not played but once all season long. I don't care how many pickup games you play in. You don't have this kind of timing. It's absolutely mind-boggling how good this guy is and what he's been able to do and not playing all season long.
14 assists in this game. Looks to be in great physical condition. He's certainly in great mental condition.
Well, his body looks great. You know, he looks lean. He looks trim.
Leitner thought about the three. Instead hits Charles Barkley. It goes behind his back to the feet of Chris Mullin. Attention, Paul Westphal. My name is Charles Barkley, and I'm welcoming myself to your team, Paul.
Yeah, every once in a while, Paul, I'll make this behind-the-back bounce pass. It'll go between someone's legs, but I'll get you 24 points and 14 rebounds. And
Danny Ainge also signed today a $5.2 million contract, 3 years. Magic Johnson has 9 points now as he penetrates the lane. The final 30 seconds of this ball game.
Well, a quiet 41-point lead now for the United States. They just really allowed the Argentinians to score in the second half. Their defense, they went through a little area where they tried to trap a little bit, play a little, go with a big lineup, maybe block some shots. But really, they've given up a lot of layups. And really, this has not been a typical night defensively for the United States. This is just one of those games that they've gone out and really had a good time in.
Leitner with a pull-up jumper from the baseline, and the tip by Karl Malone. 128 to 87. Team USA goes to 4-0. Argentina now at 2-2. And Argentina will be playing in the quarterfinals tomorrow night. The United States will have a bye, and along with Brazil in Pool B. So the U.S. is qualified for the Olympic tournament in Barcelona, surprising absolutely no one. Tonight, Michael Jordan had 24 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Barkley had 23 points, and he scored them in bunches and flurries. Mullen had 16, Ewing 15, Robinson 14, Pippen 10, Magic Johnson 9 points to go with 14 assists, Christian Leitner 9 points, and Karl Malone with 6. And Michael Jordan is going to join us tableside with the United States going 4-0 now in the Tournament of the Americas. Michael, welcome to tableside here. And the first question I have for you is, how enjoyable are all the photos during the game you're posing for?
It's a little different, you know, taking pictures with my opponent. You know, that's a little different. But these guys are trying to enjoy themselves. And you know, maybe this is the last opportunity we get the chance to play against these guys. So it's a dream for some of these guys.
You know, Michael, it seems like you just sort of gradually eased your way into this. You came in the first game against Cuba, took about 6 shots. And as it's gone on, I mean, the defense that you played last night was spectacular. It seems like that from night to night you just pick and choose what you want to do out there and really bring that to the table for the team.
Yeah, I think we got enough scores, Doug, and you know, I don't have to chase the points. I just try to do little things defensively. I just tried to pick up the intensity last night when I was playing the point guard position, and tonight, you know, I started making some shots, and you know, everything's just going well. You know, I think 36 holes a day is really relaxing me quite a bit.
You know, Chuck Daly said about you today, I was interviewing him, he said, you know, one of these days they're going to cut Michael and one of those cables are going to break loose, this bionic man that he is. So your trump card, I think, has been checked out by Chuck Daly.
I know. You know, it's just been very relaxing for me, Doug. I mean, I haven't really taken it serious. I mean, when I'm playing basketball, it's fun, and I'm taking it serious. But the rest of the time, I enjoy being around the guys and playing a lot of golf. It's been a fun time for me.
Michael, on one serious note, though, are you concerned at all about the wear and tear this summer, about going back? And I know in Chicago, the exhibition season, you have to play because, you know, it's a moneymaker for those people. Are you concerned about the wear and tear for next year?
Yeah, that's something that I talked with Phil and Jerry Krause before I left, and I made it clear to them, you know, from my standpoint, mentally, you know, I'm just going to take some time off, and you know, whenever I'm mentally ready to come back, that's when I'm going to come back. And if that means I'm going to miss training camp, that means I'm going to miss training camp. But you know, this meant a lot to me to come in and find out what type of guys I'm playing with and get to know them personally. But you know, in terms of next season, I will be ready for November 1 or whenever the game starts. But you know, training camp is really secondary to me right now.
Michael, it's interesting. We've been talking about, is there any way that this basketball team can lose? I posed that question to Doug. He said he can't think of any. Not to dwell on the negative, but what would a team have to do in international competition to defeat this team? Is there any way?
Well, if we keep dropping players like we did today, we lost 3 already. That's the only possible way I think that we cannot win it all. You know, I think we're mentally and we're focused every time we step on the basketball court, but no, we come out and play like we're capable. You know, only people that can beat us is ourselves. You know, that's the bottom line.
Michael Jordan, congratulations again, particularly on the way you folks are serving not only as NBA players but as ambassadors of the United States. I know the whole country, as we've been talking on the telephone around the country, are getting into the fact that they're witnessing this collection of basketball talent.
Well, you know, this is the first time this talent's been together in a long time, and maybe in the history of basketball, and I think people are very interested in. Well, it's a dream team. It may not ever happen again. Let's see how well they're going to do and see how well they can play together. And we have, you know, we've done a good job in terms of getting the continuity and playing well together.
Can I get 6 strokes aside if we play at 18?
Sure, I don't mind. You know.
Michael's going to be out at the midnight driving range here somewhere tonight.
You better be glad there's no lights, man.
I know that.
Michael Jordan, who had 23 points tonight, nearly a triple-double, except he rested at the close of the ball game. The United States now goes to 4-0 in the Tournament of the Americas, and we'll have them again on Friday night.
Michael, are these your hands?
Mm-hmm.
Son, is there a reason why you wear them?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Think Mom would like me in these?
Maybe.
Just wait till we get our hands on you.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. A dream I move. A dream I do.
Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
Be like Mike, like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
This fall, TNT sends your weekend into overtime with Sunday Night NFL on TNT. Keep your weekend drive alive. Sunday Night NFL on TNT.
Olympic glory used to depend on muscle, talent, and heart. Now you can add digital computer analysis, retinal scanners, and more, and that costs money. That's why every time you use your Visa card, money goes to help the U.S. Olympic team. So pull for the team and pull out your Visa card. Because at the Olympics, they don't take excuses, and they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Today's Player of the Game, brought to you by Visa.
Our player of the game, Michael Jordan, with a near triple-double, 24 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds, 9 of 16 from the field, and an entertaining demonstration of basketball tonight from Michael and the gang. Our next TV game will be Friday night at 10 Eastern Time, when we'll have the USA in the semifinals, most probably against Puerto Rico. That'll be at 10 Eastern Time here on TNT. So the United States with a 128-87 win, a 56-point margin of victory, the average in the 4-0 record for the U.S. Coming up next on TNT, stay tuned for the movie Stand By for Action, starring Charles Lawton and Robert Taylor. Stand By for Action, next on TNT.